Hello everybody, good to see you all again. Whoops, it's not an earthquake, it's just my sous chef. Anyhow, how y'all doing again? We're going to talk about knife cuts. I'm just going to show you this like this. I know Molly's going to have this pretty much sitting on the site sooner or later via, either she's going to take a picture or scan it, whatever it is that she does. But I wanted you to take a look at it as a reminder. We've already seen this already, and every single class has seen this. And this is the schedule or the map for knife cuts. There's also one in color that you've seen as well. So I just want to give you a reminder that there are specific cuts. And if you remember the past of what we talked about, if you go to In-N-Out and you're ordering French fries, why are they called French fries? Because they're French cuts. And these are French cuts. So think to yourself, French fries, French cuts. So if you remember on our past discussions, or you recall, I should say, because it's been a while, is that we discussed that what is a jullien cut and what is a bâtonnet cut. And those are the different cuts that you've actually been seeing and using and eating and ordering for as long as you've eaten the French fry, at least for potato. The little thin fries, those are jullien cuts. The next size fry, that's a bâtonnet. So the different cuts that you've been practicing, if you relate it to a potato, that's how you get those different names that we can French names that we use when we're in the kitchen. So I may ask you as a prep person to, hey, can you jullien all these potatoes? We're really in a rush. Well, I'm asking you to prepare my potatoes for fries, for the little fries. I don't recall what the little fries are called. What are the little fries called, Molly? The stick fries, or I don't know. Anyhow, but you get my point. So we're going to work with how we get to that point. And we have to block. Remember, we're blocking everything first. So you're taking a potato, let's say the carrot, we're going to use a carrot, because that's the most difficult, because it actually will roll. So what's going to stop it from rolling? By giving it a flat side. So now we can work with this and make some juliens or bâtonnets or whatever it is we want to do, or et cetera, et cetera. So I'm going to cut another side, like there, and another side right here, and another side right here, and I'm going to make a block out of this. So I've made a block. It's not the best block I've made, but you get the point. We made a block, so now I can jullien these. So I'm going to take my block, my recycling container, and we're just going to take some like 1/8" cuts here. You know, 1/8". Some people do 1/4". I'm doing an 1/8". So I have my 8" cuts. Now for time purposes, I can cut 3 at a time or what have you, but we're just practicing. So we'll just do 1 at a time. There's a jullien, there's a jullien, and there's a jullien. So now I have some juliens going. See how those look? Some nice little juliens happening. Pretty cool, huh? And you could do it with bâtonnets, what have you. What's nice about julliening things, you can prepare for all kinds of cuts. Different size dices, you know, different uses. Like if you're doing a, I don't know, perhaps you could do a stir fry or something of that nature. Here I'm just prepping these for a dip because I don't want to waste anything. And you probably have carrots at home. You know, why waste them? Let's block them off, make them into dips or sticks for dips. You can do cucumbers, peppers, you know, everything we've done before, you know, celery, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm going to do another one of these, just so we don't forget what we're up to here. And then I'm going to show you how to dice it. You can't dice carrots, celery, peppers, et cetera, evenly, even for what reason? For finished, you know, look, and for consistency of texture. So the texture has to cook at the same time, so the carrot has to have the same size, so it finishes at the same time as your cookery. And then also for looks. If you receive a plate, you don't have carrots that look, one's big, one's small, it almost looks like nobody cares in the back of the kitchen. Here, you're creating not only, consistency in your food and the texture of your food, you're also giving it a consistent look as far as the cuts are concerned. So here, I have all my dices diced to the same size. Okay, so that's why you want a jullien or bâtonnet, etc., the different cuts that are out there, bâtonnet, a laminette, and all these different ones, different cuts have uses as far as even cutting them to a smaller size. So keep that in mind. Work on this. It takes a while to get these sizes and this knife skills correctly. I mean, a lot of people go fast, but is everything the same size? So if you start doing it correctly, slowly, you can build into the speed from there. At least that's the hopes as you move along. So let's take a pepper. Here we have a pepper, right? Just gonna clean it off a little bit. I'm just gonna take a piece of it, to jullien some of it. And here I'm just julliening it. Just, here it's a little bit easier, right? All I have to do is just jullien, and then now, once my julliens are done, I could take this and I can, see this? I can make my dices, and there you go. So it's almost the same on anything you do, right? To make these different cuts that you want. So remember, block it off first. If you're doing anything, potato, carrot, anything certainly that you can't get a square off of it, make a square first. Celery, you could almost square it off on its own. Just cut it in half, maybe cut it, just make your juliens on it. So, yeah, so there's a lot of expertise in a sense, but there's also common sense as well. So work on this, keep working on your skills, and we'll see you on the next tape on how to use all these cuts that we're creating so it doesn't go to waste. Or perhaps you have these items in your refrigerator and you need to make a meal or a snack for the kids. Why waste it? We're going to take all of this extra food and create a meal for you. We'll be right back.